This video will explain why you might be feeling scared to do something, even if the reason is kind of silly, like what if it's a waste of time? Even though I personally do things like play video games, which is probably a bigger waste of time. I find that if I feel fear towards something, one reason may be because I have a perspective that's holding me back. When you're a kid and your toy breaks, it feels like the end of the world. Like if you've ever had to babysit a kid, the kid just cries and cries and you can't stop them. But as a teen or an adult, if you do something like you drop your phone and it cracks, it's really just a minor inconvenience, because as you grew up, you figured out that you can still use your stuff even if it's damaged. And if it's completely broken, then you can get a new phone, right? But imagine if you never gained that perspective of, I can just replace it. And one day you drop your phone, and since you think it's like a massive deal, bawling your eyes out. Imagine how scary it'd be to truly believe that you'd only have this specific phone for the rest of your life and you couldn't replace it. That breaking it was the end of the world. You'd be terrified to even like use it or take it outside if you put that much value in it. And because you didn't grow out of this old perspective that you had as a child, it creates fear in your current day, even when in reality it doesn't actually matter. Let's use the excuse of being too scared to work because, what if I fail or if it's a waste of time? I personally come from a background of playing video games. So whenever I wanted to achieve something in that game, I could just look up the materials for an item that I wanted to make. I could see where I could find every single material. I could see the drop chance of each material. And then I could show my friends that I made a cool weapon. But what if I tried to apply that mindset to things like art? For art, there's no clear instruction on how to achieve a result. I can't just easily seek out techniques and learn them immediately. And there's no guarantee for how long it'll take to learn a skill. So when my friends ask me if I've made progress, there's a chance that I haven't made any at all. I just went through, pointless pain. But the reality of it is that that's how art is. There's nothing that's guaranteed when learning a new skill. It's just because you're so used to things going a certain way that anything that's different seems wrong. And it also doesn't help that the friends that you have this sort of same mindset of, in games you can make progress easily, but in a skill like art, why haven't you made progress yet, right? The natural way to overcome this is just push past the fear, from my experience. Normally you would just stand at the top of the ski hill, and it's scary at first, but once you go down it a couple of times, then you kind of get used to it. But for bigger things that do have consequences, like using up a lot of your time or social consequences, one thing that I always do is get context from people above me. People who have already gone through it and can tell you what it was like. If you can question, why they were able to do it and then figure that out, it can give you the reassurance that you need to take that big step. Talk to people in person or find someone online who has already achieved the goals that you want, and then ask them what it was like, figure out what they went through, and then you learn that, wait, they made achieving that look so easy, but they still had to practice for 4 years. And I personally really like these stories because even if I find out that it's a lot harder than I think it is, it's reassuring that there's a way to make it through, right? And I find myself personally accepting facts like these, how the time frame for when I'll see results might be 100 times longer than I'm used to. But ironically, accepting that it'll take 100 times longer, I make more progress because, I'm moving forwards. And I can see that other people are doing it. It puts you more at ease because you can set aside your old belief system that it should be this way when it really isn't. And then you can let go of high expectations or weird excuses, Yeah, I usually spend more time skipping things out, but I'm kind of forced to go to my cousin's today. So I hope this helps.